Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Monét, and you're watching The Exchange Rate. Do you know how dinosaurs paid their bills? With Tyrannosaurus checks. Checks, right? Together? Anyway, whatever. We are officially on what feels like week 417 of the Rona, and I can safely say, fuck this shit, okay? I can't stop eating. My island was looted on Animal Crossing last night, and if I lose my Apple TV remote one more time, I'm selling that bitch for a Fire Stick. I mean, I've been trying some expert opinions to help reduce anxiety, and a lot of this shit is just not for me. Meditating, organizing, exercising. You want me to exercise in my one-bedroom New York City apartment? What is this, Wreck-It Ralph 3? I mean, I guess when I really think about it, isolation hasn't been all negative. I've been really able to sit down, clear my mind, concentrate, and really find the center of a Louisiana crumb cake. I've also been catching up on a lot of Netflix, and I got 2 words for y'all hoes. Tiger King. Yes, the documentary that will confirm all of your suspicions. White people crazy. First of all, Carol Baskin did it. Number 2, meth is one hell of a drug. And in number 3, when in doubt, remember, Lady Bunny will always be a piece of shit. We have a super fun show for y'all today because the beauty guru and influencer supreme Jane Charles is here. And though her stay on season 12 was short-lived, she's quickly becoming everyone's favorite fashion queen. We're also chatting with the gorgeous Dahlia Sin today. Woo! Thank you, my studio audience. But without further ado, let's get into the gig, bitch. Hit it! I miss the music. It feels very, I don't know why I was just singing. Was that Beastie Boys? Can we talk about this motherfucking look, though? As y'all can see, the picture quality has improved because we figured out some things. We wanted to give y'all a fine, fresh, feminine, gorgeous exchange rate. So just go with us here, okay? So we're going to talk about a few stories. The first story I want to talk about, Miss Thing, is Bad Bunny. Now, not unless you've been living under a rock, but to be fair, I had no idea who the Bad Bunny was before all of this started going down. I had never even, I knew nothing about Bad Bunny. I didn't know what, I thought that was, when people said Bad Bunnies, I thought they were talking about them little fluffy things you eat for Easter. I was like, no, I never had a Bad Bunny. I don't like that. But I was like, oh, it's an artist. So anyway, Bad Bunny is like I looked him up. You know when shit started going down, you start going to the Instagram, the Twitter to figure out people. And on this Instagram, he's been famous for like a really long time. He's doing like sold out world tours like for a while, like a couple of years now. So I'm like, how I never heard about this person. But he's really big right now because he just did a music video where he was like fully in geesh. And bitch, I'm not talking about like he did like a smoky eye and like a little lipstick and some Ruby Woo coal liner. No, bitch, he was like in full drags, like the wig, like not even a synthetic wig. A human hair moment. And he had those new chest pieces that people are wearing now where there's not that raggedy seam line hair. Like it's some, bitch, that shit must be like behind his ears or something because they look like titties, okay? And you know, people are talking about, is he queer baiting us? Is he just doing this for notoriety and like to like make like a splash and like do whatever? And you know, I've been thinking about it a lot. And here are the facts, okay? Bad Bunny has always been a rule breaker. He's always like kind of like pushed the boundaries of, you know, what people expect of him, which I think kind of all rappers do. All rappers are kind of like a big fuck you to, you know, a lot of shit. But he's also always been an outspoken LGBTQ ally. And he identifies as straight currently. And I say currently because sexuality and gender are always evolving. I know we're now putting labels on it and we're not figuring it out more, but sexuality and gender are always evolving. Who knows where he's going to be tomorrow, a year from now, in 5, like who knows? So, but he's currently straight, and he has spoken up for the LGBTQ community a lot. And he was most notably recently, before his drag look for his video, he wore the name of the slain trans woman from Puerto Rico when he did his performance on the Jimmy Fallon show. So he is like, you know, he's for the cause, he's for the culture. He's like really advocating for our trans brothers and sisters, the LGBT community. So he's really doing a good job on that. And he has a song called Yo Perreo Sola, which means I twerk alone. And it was like a really powerful message. At the end of the video, it goes, if she doesn't want to dance with you, respect her. She twerks alone. So, you know, he's like speaking like, because we all know, we all been to the clubs. I mean, maybe you don't go to like I've been up in the straight club, and you see a girl who's like just living her life with her girls, dancing, twerk a little bit, and some nasty ass motherfucker feels entitled, like, oh, I want to get up in that. I want to dance with her. And she'd be like, nah, chill, I don't want that. So his song is basically saying like, just because a girl is dancing in the club don't mean she's inviting your dick to be rubbing up on the back of her to try to dance with her. Like, that's not where everybody's at. So, so he's an advocate for women, for the LGBTQ community, and I honestly don't feel like he's queer baiting. I feel like when these artists queer bait, there's something that tickles you in the back of your neck, and you're like, this don't feel right, and I don't feel that from him. I feel like it is pretty honest, but it does show that that when you see like a straight heteronormative person challenging gender norms and like challenging the binary, like you see them celebrated more than queer people like you and me who do it all the time. So, but I don't think that's Bad Bunny's problem. I think that that's a societal thing. I think that Bad Bunny should be celebrated for his allyship, and people just need to, you know, check the biases with the queer phobia that they have. Like, yes, good for him for standing up for our community and doing all that, but we should recognize the queer people who do it all the time, who aren't afraid to walk down 125th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard in a full dress and earrings and whatever. You know what I mean? The people who are like very outspokenly queer and living their queer lives, like those people should be applauded too. And I'm not saying that they're not, but I feel like hetero culture should accept that more and should recognize those heroes. Yes, I'm happy for Bad Bunny. I'm happy he's doing this for our community, but let's also look at the people who do it every day. The people who aren't ashamed and afraid to walk out of their buildings, their apartments, down their streets and be, bitch, just throwing the queer in everybody's face. You know what I'm saying? Just like, those people should be applauded too. So Bad Bunny, thank you for all you do, and thank you for your gender fluidity. And I don't think it's queer baiting. I'm not getting that tickle. I'm not getting that little tickle right here that's like, but are you really though? Well, also, there's also that video on his Instagram where, I don't know if y'all know, y'all can tell me, comment below. Is it his girlfriend? He's in the full drag look, and then the girl runs up on him, and she jumps and they start like making out when he's in full drag. I don't know if his girlfriend was a friend, but it was hot. Also, he's fucking hot. If you look his Instagram, that video that he was in the boxers and he was like gyrating and shaking it up in the camera, I was like, so Bad Bunny, yes, honey. The next thing, now we got bad blood. Bad Bunny, bad. He should do like a Bad Bloody and feature me on it. The next star I want to talk about is the whole Jeffree Star Mason Disick thing. Okay, now if you don't know, Mason Disick is the son of Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Which, by the way, do y'all see the clip of fucking Kourtney and Kim going at it? And Kourtney mollywopping that hoe on her face? It's everything. If you don't know, you need to watch Kourtney and Kim fighting, because that was not acting this thing. They were going in. It was fucking Bad Girls Club Calabasas, okay? She was like, but what was crazy was the open hand slap. It was crazy. Anyway, I digress. So Mason Disick, he's Kourtney Kardashian's son. He's 10 years old. Now, you know, everybody be making, he's 10 years old and he's not allowed to be on social media by his parents, but he snuck and made a TikTok account and did a live broadcast with a famous personality, Addison Rae. And in the stream, it was like it was something crazy. Like 60,000 people were watching 10-year-old Mason Disick and Addison Rae talking on IG Live, and James Charles posted in the thing. He was like, "Who is your favorite influencer? Who's your favorite beauty guru?" And of course, Mason was like, "What's a beauty guru?" And Addison was like, "Oh, someone who does makeup. Who do you think is fierce?" And he was like, "Oh, James Charles, obviously." And then he goes, "Because Jeffree Star is spoiled at AS. For all the old people out there, spoiled as fuck." You know, Jeffree, so that everybody, of course, took that clip or posting it all over Twitter, tagging Jeffree like, "Ooh, Jeffree, what you gonna say? Yo, mama." It was very that. So then Jeffree Star said this, bitch, "I live." Jeffree Star goes in and he says, "I had $500 in my bank account 6 years ago. Maybe he's confused with his own privilege versus mine being self-made. Hopefully his father can educate him soon." Now, I know some of y'all are like, "Wow, that was a lot for a 10-year-old. It was like, no, fuck that. I was like, yeah, Jeffree, drag that little boy. That was a little much for a 10-year-old. But again, I think like the minimum age you can be on social media, I mean on Instagram, correct me if I'm wrong, is like 13 years old. So maybe he thought he was 13. And also, I'm not talking about self-made. Yes, I get it. Mason comes from a very privileged family, the Kardashians, obviously. But he also hasn't, I guess he'll never be in a situation where he has to be self-made. Although, when you're that rich, like let's say he started like I don't know, a nail polish line or something. Well, does that count as being self-made if he like, does that count as being self-made? Like, even though Kylie Jenner comes from the Kardashian clan, but her lip thing and her lip kit and her makeup like blowing up like that, does that count as being self-made? Just because you don't start from nothing, can you still be self-made? That's a good question. What do y'all think? Yeah, so Jeffree let him have it with that. Mason hasn't clapped back because when Kourtney Kardashian found out, she fucking took his phone, she deleted all of his social media. She's like, She got real Armenian, honey. She was like, you're not having no social media. I'm deleting all your shit because she was like, he's not allowed to. So we haven't, and none of the Kardashians have clapped back at Jeffree for this comment. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. And James Charles also hasn't commented on the situation today. If I remember, I'll ask him about it today because I'm really curious what he thinks. But also James Charles has his own thing coming out, his instant influencer show. It's coming out on YouTube April 24th. It's for free, I believe, and it's a makeup influencer show. Bitch, I'm gonna try to watch so I can be a fucking YouTube influencer. Would you watch it? I'm watching it. It's pretty shit. And yeah. So that's that. Listen, I don't feel bad for none of these people. They're all fucking cajillionaires. And you and I are sitting up here making YouTube videos for 3s and 4s of people. So all these people, Jeffree Star with his multi-millions, Mason Disick and his multi-millions, they'll be just fine. You and I got bigger shit to worry about. Next story is, this is more on a serious note. FDA blood donation guidelines. Okay, so I don't know who's watching this, if you're up on your queer history, queer knowledge. A lot after the AIDS epidemic of the 80s, they passed federal laws prohibiting gay men from donating blood. And so this law has been in effect since the 80s or early 90s, if I'm not mistaken, where gay men cannot donate blood, and also the women who have sex with gay men, because of fears of HIV and etc. But now, lots of people, there's been lots of people fighting and combating this legislature, so that to be like, this is such an antiquated view of blood donation. Like, we know now that HIV/AIDS is not a gay disease, contrary to y'all stupid beliefs. And gay men should be allowed to donate blood. And so this is still by the way, this was still in effect currently today, but they just passed a rule. They just passed an amendment to this rule saying that it is, so this is the quote of the new one. Previously, that guideline stipulated that men who had sex with men and the women who had sex with them were barred from donating blood or plasma if they had been sexually active in the prior 12 months. A new announcement today shortens that deferral period by 3 months. It should not be anything. It shouldn't be there shouldn't be any stipulation. If gay men or women have sex with gay men or men, whatever, if they want to donate blood, they should be able to donate blood. First of all, y'all are not taking this blood straight from the person and transfusing it into someone. They're testing the blood. They do all this stuff. So I don't understand why we are still prohibiting while there is any deferment period. It shouldn't be a day. It shouldn't be a week. It should be the standard protocol and procedures of anyone donating blood. I don't understand this discriminatory practice to men who have sex with men and the women who have sex with those men. What, like, it is so crazy to me that we are still dealing with stuff like this in 2020. It is ridiculous. It is gross. It's such a gross, and it's just a way to marginalize queer people even more. It's like we have our technology has advanced way more than that, and we should know better. Here are some other stats. One donation can save 3 lives. Okay, one person's donation of blood can save 3 lives. Less than 38% of the population is eligible to give blood. So that's about 40% of our population. I think, 40 million people in America? So 50% would be 20 million, so a little less than 40%. So about 17 million people in our country cannot donate blood. Isn't that crazy? And 45% of people in the US have a type O blood, the most requested type of hospitals. So I think that, and of course, places like GLAAD have been advocating to change this law. And yes, I am acknowledging this is a step in the right direction, but it should be eradicated completely, and it should not be a thing at all. And shout out to people like AOC and Carolyn B. Maloney, who have written requests to change those guidelines. Because as we know, AOC is a big LGBTQ advocate, and she's on Drag Race this week, so it'll be nice to see her, because we like politicians who are really for the culture and really for the cause. Like, we really respect that shit. We don't like the fake ones. I'm not gonna say no names, but y'all know who. I have to say, I am so beautiful. I have not done a cut crease in so long, and this Chipotle burrito Galaxy Quest fantasy, bitch. Oh, and the next story, Nikki Tutorials. Okay, so we did a story about this on the Exchange Rate before, when Nikki Tutorials, came out as being trans because allegedly Too Faced Cosmetics were gonna blackmail her about her trans identity. She's like, I'll talk about it myself. So anyway, so long story short, after all that, hey studio audience, how y'all do? So when she, when she came out of trans, so long story short, she went on the Ellen DeGeneres show after it all blew up and everyone was really supportive, really loving her. And when she went on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Now, I have to say this. Let me preface the story that I've heard many stories from friends in the industry and drag queens who have friends in the industry that say that Ellen DeGeneres is the meanest person ever. And I don't know how to accept that information because she always seems so great on her show. She's so generous. She gives people things all the time, and she seems like such a sweet lady. But apparently she doesn't allow people to look her in the fucking eyes. You can't talk to her. Ellen is like, don't fucking look at me. Allegedly. I've never been there. I don't know, but that's allegedly how she is. So Nikki Tutorials went on a show in the Netherlands. She's from Amsterdam, I believe. Okay, so we have the clip of Nikki Tutorials talking about the whole situation. Let's put it up in this little corner right here. Ding! Is it here? Am I doing it? Or maybe it should be lower. Oh, look at that. I look so good. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the clip in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Hoe was het bij Ellen DeGeneres?
Nou, laat ik zeggen dat er een groot verschil is tussen De Wereld Draait Door en Ellen.
Read the subtitles.
En dan geef ik jullie het positieve handje.
Want?
Oh, punt.
Nou, daar wil ik meer weten.
Nou ja, er zijn bepaalde... Kijk, bijvoorbeeld, het is wel heel leuk dat jij wel vooraf hallo komt zeggen en zo.
Ik kom vooraf hallo zeggen.
En we gaan door naar leuk nieuws. Eurovisie Songfestival.
See? So, I mean, Nikki Tutorials, and also the fact that she's talking about it so openly, bitch, Ellen gonna put a hit out on her. You know Ellen is one of the most powerful. Ellen is white Oprah, honey. This bitch is a cajillionaire. She has a lot of power. She has a presidential freedom award and stuff. I'm nervous for Nikki. But I would love to talk about it. Like, I want to know, like, the details. I want to know, like, did you go to a dressing room and was she, like, get the fuck out? Like, I want to know, like, how, on, like, a scale of 1 to Fifi or her. I'm kidding. I love Fifi. On a scale of 1 to 10, like, how mean was she to her? Was it, like, don't talk to me? Like, was it, like, on some RuPaul, Pearl, the cameras aren't rolling, bitch, I don't need to talk to you? Like, was it that? Interesting. But anyway, those are the stories for today. If you think Ellen DeGeneres is mean, comment below. Again, I've never met her, so I can only go off of people with the stories I've heard, and now Nikki Stories is talking about it on TV, so I think maybe she might be. That's all the stories we have for today. Since being in quarantine, drinking my feelings has become my favorite nightly routine. Reds, whites, merlots, blancs, you name it! With so many options, how on earth can I pick? To help with our Cabernet fever, we've entrusted my good sis Rosé to make things a little bit more palatable. Take a look.
Hi everyone, welcome to the first week of Wine Crush Wednesday. My name is Rosé and I am a lover of wine and a lover of... I really wanted to start something every week where I can just literally have something to do every week. Every week I'll announce which bottle I'm going to review beforehand so that if you have absolutely nothing to do, which would be sad, you can get the bottle and drink it with me. J. Lore Cabernet Sauvignon. It says 2016 on it, which was a very good year. I don't know if anybody remembered the video that kind of went semi-viral of Kylie Jenner. 2016 is just like about like just realizing things.
Realizing stuff.
Realize things.
And everyone around me were all just like realizing things.
Realizing.
2016, looking good.
I'm excited to realize some things while drinking this. Or maybe even like forget some things. Cool, so let's open it. I gotta say, like, the packaging is like a little bit confusing. Oh yeah. Okay, squeeze it in, boy. It's time for the first taste. I've seen a movie. I went down to the river to pray. Doesn't imagine I go away and look at me through the glass. I'm like a fish. I'm so fucking fishy. Oh, do a taster first. And the reason that people put a little bit in first is just because, just to like, in case like maybe you have a reputation of drinking too much, and so you're just like, no, it's just like a little. And you just put like a little bit in, just so people don't think that you're going to get like wasted. Then you pour more, and then they smell it. Yep, it's fine. This is called Tornado. You're actually, I think, supposed to, like, get the teeth brown now. It's gonna happen. So this is a Cabernet Sauvignon, and that is French for the cabinets. Okay, so our family wine growing and winemaking passion is rooted in our sustainably farmed vineyards. The oak-studded terroir. Terroir? I wonder what that means. I would look it up. But I don't get it. And calcareous soils. Listen, I don't know if any of y'all are gardeners, but if any of you can come over to me tomorrow and make my soils fucking calcareous, I will say thank you, because that sounds delicious. This is an excellent companion to grilled beef, lasagna, or dark chocolate. So basically what they're saying is this wine should be consumed with a very hearty meal. Can you imagine just like going to an Italian restaurant and be like, hey, like I really want the J-Lore. Therefore, may I please, to start out, can I please have some dark chocolate as an appetizer? And then for my soup and salad, I'll go with the grilled beef. And then I'm not really hungry, so I'm gonna skip my entree. But for dessert, how about some lasagna? Government warning. According to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy. That is so stupid. Time for class number 2. Anyway, this is super fun, and remember, I forgot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the beauty guru extraordinaire, Miss Influencer 2019-20 anniversary to come. James Schultz is here!
Hi, sister. How are you?
Hey, sister. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. This whole quarantine situation is obviously really scary,
Girl.
but I'm very blessed and lucky to have a job that I can continue doing from home. So I've been getting a lot of work done, but I'd be very much lying if I said that I wasn't starting to get a little bit overwhelmed and just like spooked with everything going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, with all this stuff going on, do you have like your team staying at your home? Because they got a big ass house. Or is your team like working remotely? Like, how is it all
It's not too bad right now. I have one roommate that lives with me, and he happens to be my head of content. So he's kind of the one that oversees like all my social posts, like all video ideas and stuff. He also does my videography. So if there's anybody to be stuck in quarantine with, it's definitely him, because we're still able to make everything happen. My assistant's been working from home, and my manager's been working from home as well. We're a tiny little team, but I definitely am grateful for everybody because we get shit done, and that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This quarantine has not put a stop to our work.
Well, I mean, I have to say, like, with your... I mean, you have like 18 million subscribers on YouTube. People follow you Twitter, Instagram. Your reach is wild. Like, people love you. It all came from CoverGirl. How did that all happen? What was the transition? Was it a competition you won, or how did it all work out?
It wasn't a competition at all. I started doing makeup about 4 years ago now, and I fell into makeup by accident because I used to do girls' hair for like prom and ball and stuff at my high school. And
$5
it was
and $10.
Halloween.
I remember that story.
Yes. And then I fell into makeup by accident on Halloween. I fell in love with it. Started posting photos on Instagram and stuff. They did like okay. And then like probably I would say like 250,000 followers in. I got reached out to by CoverGirl, and I was working with a manager at the time. And you know, I literally just got an email being like, hey, CoverGirl reached out, like, I'm gonna have a phone call with them and just like see where it goes. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And then like a week later, she's like, hey, so how do you feel about being the first ever male face of CoverGirl? And I was like, what? And you know, it's so crazy too, because even in that moment, like I was obviously naive to everything going on in the industry and how everything really worked. So I was so excited for the opportunity, but it didn't even really like sink in that that was such a like crazy, iconic thing. Because I was just grateful for the opportunity regardless. Like I was just grateful that I was getting to work with such a cool brand. But like once the news actually dropped that like I was the first ever male CoverGirl, like it didn't really sink in until all the media outlets were picking it up, and like everybody like all around the world was like talking about it. I was like, oh my god, this is like a way bigger deal than I thought. Yeah.
You were the first girl. You're like the RuPaul, you know what I'm saying? Like you're the first who do this major thing. It's iconic. Like the male face of CoverGirl, that's crazy.
It's so crazy. To this day, I'm still so grateful for that partnership and that opportunity. It changed my life forever. It changed the beauty world forever. And like just thinking about the fact that like one day that will probably be in history books, it's like so weird to me. But it's I'm just like I'm very grateful for the job and the life that I've had.
And now with your show, you're gonna be giving that opportunity to younger influencers, and it is gonna be a really fierce show.
So the show is called Instant Influencer, and it'll be streaming free on my YouTube channel on April 24th. It's for free, mama, and I'm so beyond excited because my channel has been, like I said, I've been doing this for I've been doing makeup for 4 years, YouTube for about 3 years now. And although my content is always makeup focused, I've never really been the one to care about tutorials or reviews. Like they're just like not my thing. So I've always been really trying hard to like do entertaining content, do funny content, things that of course are related to makeup and get people involved in wanting to feel creative and inspired, but most importantly, just laughing and feeling they can have a place where they can escape to no matter what's going on in their life. And because of that, like I love production, I love behind the scenes stuff, I love lighting and videography and equipment and just like taking my content to the next level. So for me, doing a like full production show has always been like one of my biggest goals. And I was trying to think of like what I could do, and there have been so many incredible competition shows, RuPaul's Drag Race being my personal favorite that I've seen every single season multiple times. And like that's always inspired me so much, and I always wanted to do something like that, but I wanted to do something different. And there's been a lot of different makeup shows, but there hasn't been one that really focuses on what it takes to be an influencer. And I feel like right now, everybody and their mother, you know, wants to come online and wants to be an influencer because it's
bitch, everybody's an influencer. People got a few followers on TikTok, on Instagram. They're like, I'm an influencer now.
Well, it depends, because in reality, there is so much more that goes into being an influencer than what meets the eye. And that is really what the whole point of the show is to test these young artists and see who has really what it takes to be a beauty superstar. It's so much more than just putting on brown eyeshadow. We test their marketing capability, how they work well on camera together, if they're able to sell product, if they're able to handle the stress of social media and stuff. So it's a full in-depth show, and of course, there's drama and there's eliminations, but it really focuses on educating both the contestants and the viewers about what it takes to be an influencer. And hopefully everybody watching will be able to take home insights and information that they wouldn't normally be able to get. And and they can use that to, you know, do their job and, you know, be better influencers than what they already are. So it's kind of like me wanting to pass on my knowledge, pass on my torch from what I've learned in the last several years. Of course, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've definitely, you know, moved past them and succeeded, and I'm just really excited for this opportunity. I cannot fucking wait. Excuse my language.
You wish you could curse.
Great. I cannot fucking wait, because we put our all into this. We put our love into it, and I think most importantly, it's going to be such a positive thing for the community, which is exactly what we need right now.
I mean, I also love the fact that y'all didn't like find people with like millions of followers. Like only 2 of them have like more than 10K. Like y'all are really trying to get people who are no names and give them an opportunity and a platform. I love that. That's good.
Absolutely. We wanted to really cast people that like represent the beauty industry, and the reality is that most people in the industry are like starting off really, really small. And of course, for this first season, we only were able to cast 6 contestants. So as much as I would have loved to, there's no way that, you know, everybody in the beauty industry could possibly be represented in that small group of people. But it was really important that we highlighted smaller artists and brought eyes to, you know, people that I think really, really deserve it. So we did hold an open casting call on YouTube, which was so cool because thousands of people auditioned, and we were able to narrow it down to our final 6. And I'm just really excited, and I just cannot wait. Hopefully we get picked up for season 2 and many other seasons after that, so we can continue to highlight the diversity in the beauty industry, all different types of artists, and just make it like a huge, super, super positive thing where new talent and new blood are constantly coming in and wanting to, you know, show what they got, and hopefully bring in some like new competition into the industry in the healthiest way possible.
Speaking of healthy, I want to talk about your little beef with Trinity. I feel like it came out of nowhere. I woke up the next day and I was like, what is happening? Trinity and James have this beef? Like, what happened? That's my Twitter. I love Trinity to death, but she got wild. I was like, damn, girl, what's the tea?
It was so weird. Like I said, I've watched every single season. We were never friends.
Got it. Okay.
So I've watched every single season of Drag Race like twice. I'm obsessed with the show. I love a lot of queens from the show, including her. She was honestly one of my favorites. So like this whole situation was just honestly really disappointing. But I just like got bored and tweeted a few days ago, like tested positive for having a fat ass, because like everyone's been making corona jokes, and obviously with everything going on in the world right now, sometimes the only way to get through these type of things is just laugh and have a good time. And I like woke up in the morning and she had tweeted back being like, who diagnosed you, Helen Keller? And I like giggled a little bit, but I was like, this feels a little bit, I don't know, I didn't really know what to read it as. So I wanted to assume that it was just a playful joke. I clapped back and it did not go well. She obviously was very angered by it and continued heading back. And I wanted to, you know, just like peace out. I said that I loved her. I said that I had respect for her and I had no interest in fighting. She continued going on Twitter all day long, which I still don't know why. She said that she hated me and then tried to say that it was a joke at the same time. So I'm like, all right, regardless, I still love what she does. I have a lot of respect for her. She's one of my favorite queens to ever walk the stage. The situation was disappointing, but at the end of the day, it's just Twitter and words can always get twisted and stuff, so I try not to take it to heart.
Down, girl. I know. As someone who's been canceled, I know. You don't fuck, girl. James Charles, you're like, oh, you want to play that game? Here are the receipts. I got it right here. I'll show them. I don't give a fuck. I feel like work. Well, you know, that was the first time I met you. It was at New York City Drag Con, and I had no idea you were in drag because I seen you obviously as a boy, but you came in with this blonde wig and you look gorgeous. And I was like, who is this girl? And then I was like, oh shit, it's fucking James Charles, girl, right here in my face. Would you ever do the drag thing seriously? Like, would you ever like give us a lip sync, or is it just only for aesthetic?
I would love to. Like I said, drag has been such a huge source of inspiration for me. I've learned so much about makeup from drag queens. Like I said, I love the show. So I have done like drag looks or transformations a few different times on my channel. That video, or you saw me in person when I was filming like my first ever like full drag transformation, which was so fun. I am literally the worst dancer ever. So I don't know about doing like a full lip sync. However, I do sing. I don't think I'm amazing at it, but based on some of the queens that have sang live on the show, I think I could give the girls, you know, a little performance.
I think that was a little Monét X Change. You know me, I thought it a hot ass mess of All Stars, girl.
So it would not be something that I'm opposed to. I have so much respect for the art form, but at the same time, it's not something that I go through on a daily basis. Like, there's so much obviously that goes into drag, and I've tiptoed around it a few different times, and I've, you know, dipped my feet in the water because I do love it so much. But I don't know. I would love to be a judge on Drag Race. Like, that would be
how
like
is
my
that
everything.
not happened yet? How have you not been a judge on Drag? Like, that's
I don't know. I don't know. I really want it to happen. I've like Wild Presents followed me and has like DM'd me about it a few times before, but like the conversation never went anywhere, which really sucks. It seems like I don't think they've actually had like any like internet personalities ever.
Yeah, I can't think of any. I can't think of any like
obviously Todrick is like obviously Todrick comes from YouTube, but he's like established outside of the YouTube world. And then Troye Sivan used to be a famous YouTuber, but now he's a famous musician. Yeah, Troye Sivan started off on YouTube. Yeah, most people don't, because he's so talented and like he's like made a name for himself outside, which is incredible. Obviously, that's the goal for all of us. But yeah, I would love to do it more than anything, but it just hasn't happened yet. But I'm ready for the call at any time.
Well, also, and I just want to say, girl, and for you being so young and you handling you handle, you know, people try to come at you sideways a lot, and you handle all of it with like grace and class, and you always try to be as respectful as possible, especially because for someone like me as well, I know I've been canceled for doing stuff I didn't even know that I was getting in trouble for. I'm like, oh, right. You always just rise above it. You just keep on shining, girl. So keep on shining.
Thank you. Thank you. I really try. Like I said, I'm really grateful for the platform that I have, and you know, of course, like I started off this when I was 16. I'm 20 now, turning 21 soon. Whew, not looking forward to that.
I cannot believe you are not even 21 yet, James. I am gagged.
Me either. I think about it every day, but you know, it's just been like a learning experience, and we're all human beings at the end of the day, and everybody learns and grows no matter how old they are. And you know, I would say that learning in front of the public eye has been both a, you know, a great experience and also a not so great experience at times. I definitely feel like I've been, you know, really molded into a really strong and good person. And I'm really grateful for that in a way. Obviously, there's been times where it's really affected my mental health, and I'd be lying if I said that it didn't. But at the end of the day, like, I'm proud of the person that I've become through doing this job. And I'm really proud to be a role model in front of millions and millions of kids. And it's like, it's unrealistic to think that people will never make mistakes and will never grow no matter what platform they have. So I own it. I have no problem talking about it and like owning the stuff that I do wrong. And the only thing you can do is just like learn and do better in the future. So that's like the way that I look at things.
Well, I also feel like if you like you really wanted to fuck with the kids and get them grad, you and fucking Tati should drop a collab tomorrow, and people would be like,
"Oh gosh."
You're like, absolutely not.
Luckily, we're on quarantine, so I will not be doing any collaborations for a little bit.
I mean, we need another Morphe palette. You know, I'm wearing the pink for your Morphe palette right here. It shows up.
Are you really?
Good. Yes, it shows up so good on black skin. Because here's the thing: as a black person who wears makeup, it is so hard to find. And those shades of any of the other people out there, I'm not trying to shade anyone. I'm just saying, in my personal experience, it's so hard to find colors that show up on dark skin. And your Morphe palette the pigment is it really gets popping on the chocolate. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. I've had so many of my favorite queens tell me that they've like worn my palette or bring it with them on tour all the time, which literally warms my heart. Like, literally, like when we were doing the campaign, like I had talked about so many times in interviews and stuff, how it was really important to me that like a mom in Nebraska could pick it up and do like a light glam look for her night on the town, or like a full-on drag queen could pick it up in the middle of New York City and do like a rainbow cut crease. So like it makes me really, really happy that that marketing tactic did work, and that is the reality of, you know, everybody that has it in their hands. So thank you for saying that. That makes me so happy.
Of course. Well, you know, I first tried it when I was on Christmas store with Miss Cracker. Miss Cracker had it, and I tried a blue, and I was like, oh, this is good. So I stole it for like 3 shows, and she didn't know I had it, and then I had to eventually give it back. But Miss Cracker exposed me to the James Charles magicosity with the palette. So
I love her. I love her.
She's
of course.
James, thank you so much for chatting with me today. This is such a good conversation. Again, I love you. I think you're inspiring, and you keep on shining, and you keep on pressing forward, even though what the haters be trying to fucking tear you apart.
Thank you, Monet. I love you so much. You're one of my favorite queens ever, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Of course, babe. And then, of course, when this is all over, please come in studio so we can do the interview where we play games.
I'm so
and do
down.
all the fun stuff. I always have so much fun with the guests in the studio.
I'm so down. As soon as this is all over, I have a lot of different things planned, a lot of different things that I had to cancel, and a New York trip is definitely one of them, so I will be there. Count on it.
Okay, we're going to do it. All right, baby. Have a good Corona. I'll see you on the other side.
You too, sister. Stay safe and wash your hands.
Okay, I will, girl. Bye, babe. Mwah.
Bye.
We've had a lot of celebrity guests on the show, and sometimes we like to trap them in a room and ask them unsolicited questions about money.
I'd hug everybody. I just give everybody hugs. Because that's what the currency, I have a 4-year-old daughter, and that's what our currency is. She doesn't care about money. She cares about if I'm hugging her or not. So I would just start hugging people until they hit me. I worked as a ball boy at the U.S. Open and a court attendant at the U.S. Open Tennis Center in Queens. And that was kind of a wild job to just have New York City kids around elite tennis athletes who were just cursing and telling them to go fuck themselves. And it was like, these guys are $1 million athletes, but we just didn't care because we were dirtbags from Brooklyn. I bought my home last year in Brooklyn, right close to my kid. I own a home, and I bought a love sack, which is nice. I mean, am I supposed to Harriet Tubman? Because that's what my vote is. Listen, I know that I look like an undercover cop. I'm telling you, I'm one of the good whites. Okay, so whatever I'm supposed to say, that's the answer. But also know that I would like to put Andrew Jackson's out. Who do I want to put on the 20? I'd like to put the $20 bill. Let's see, because what do I use 20s for? What am I mostly buying? Maybe I'd like to put, you buy weed with 20s. Who should we put? Bob Marley. That's what I want to put on the 20. The Chinese yen, US dollar, Canadian dollar, the loonie, which is a Canadian dollar, a euro, and a euro and a franc. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you condoms, which you should be using because I just got over chlamydia. Knowing that you're chlamydia free is priceless.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is the sexiest drag queen alive, oozing, literally oozing sex appeal everywhere she goes. The gorgeous and stunning. We have Miss Dahlia Sin.
What's up, Monét?
How are you doing, girl?
I'm good, living my life in quarantine.
I know. Listen, I said this to Nikki last week. I was like, this has to fucking suck for y'all to go through to filming Drag Race, doing the whole thing, waiting for the whole shebang, and then not being able to come out and make your motherfucking money and doing the gigs and the tours and shit.
Girl, literally, it sucks because we get off the show, we come back and we want to expect to tour and meet everybody, but now we stuck in, this bullshit, but I mean, I'm a loner as it is, so I'm kind of I'm not a full loner, but I have my moments where I'm a loner because I'm a tourist, so
oh damn,
I just I don't mind it sometimes, but this is getting ridiculous. Girl,
I know.
Soon.
Wait. So right now, are you in New York or are you in LA?
I'm in New York right now. I'm stuck here.
You're stuck in New York, right? Because you can't get to LA. Because I know you as a New York queen, and then you fucking up and left us and went to LA, bitch.
No,
How dare you?
I wanted to move because I was like, girl, I've been in New York forever. I'm I want to try something new. I want to branch out from my house and try and like see what it is like in another state, especially California, since like I already had love there. So I was like, let me go to LA for a little bit. I was only gonna move there for like, you know, a few months. Bitch, I ended up staying for 2 years. So it's 2 years now, girl.
Okay, now I'm trying to find the story. So you're born and raised in Michigan, and then you moved to New York when you were like 18, 19?
When I was 18, I moved to New York, and I was here for like 2 years, and then I moved to San Francisco, and then came back after like a year, and then I've been in New York ever since. So I was in New York for about 6 years, and then I moved to LA.
And then how did you get connected with Aja, and how did you like were you going out and you're like, oh, this bitch is fierce, she's my drag? Like how did the formation of your drag family happen? Because I don't know like the details of it. I think it's so interesting.
So I met Momo on Facebook, and I was visiting
Momo.
Mm-hmm. I was visiting in Rhode Island. I don't know why I was in Rhode Island, but I was in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island now, girl.
I was in Rhode Island. I don't know why I was in Rhode Island. I can't even remember. That was so fucking long ago. But I was there. I met Mo on Facebook. She was like, "Girl, you should stop in New York. It's not. I mean, like, you could stop in Brooklyn. It's not that close. I mean, because I got to talk to her like on and off for like a while, and I knew Aja a little bit through Momo. So like I went and I visited, and then I was like, so we like just started talking and stuff, and then bitch, like a few months later, I was like, bitch, I'm moving, and so I moved there, and then I ended up being their roommate. And Aja was like, girl, we gotta put you in drag one day, and I'm like, bitch, ew. I'm like, I am not being a drag queen. She was like, come on, you have like the perfect face for a drag queen, and like you have like good eyebrows.
Facts though, facts.
I'm like, not the eyebrows. So she put me in drag, and it was at. Do you remember the show Bath Salts in Brooklyn at I forget the name of the bar. Yeah, there was it wasn't TNT. It was off of Flushing, I think, and it's not there anymore. I think the little bar was called like Don Pedro's or something like that, and they had one drag show once a week in a straight bar, and that was the first time I did drag.
Word, bitch. And now look at you all the way to season 12. Now, here's the thing. So you kind of like Nikki Doll. I feel like you branded yourself as a fashion queen, but in that first episode you were on Dahlia, you were so fucking funny. I even tweeted about it. I said Dahlia is giving us really funny confessionals. You were like, I feel like you're one of the people. Again, you're a fashion queen, but I feel like you're so much more than that. Did you know you were funny, or you're like, I'm just talking, having a good time. Whatever happens, happens.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I think I'm a funny person. I'm not, okay, like, obviously, hello, improv knocked me down. But, like, I think I'm a funny person, you know, just speaking. I'm not a funny person when it comes to improv and having to, you know, like, talk after someone and be like...
Right.
I'm just, like, a deer in headlights, bitch. I am not the bitch at improv. So, like, yeah, I'm a funny person. So, like, people are, like, I just hope, like they weren't, like, saying, like, bitch, she's only a fashion queen. I'm like... Girl, buddy.
No, you are very funny. You were very funny, and then Sexy Broccoli came over, girl, and tried to take your judge. But by the way, though, you may have left a few episodes ago, but you've been in like every episode since with the Sexy Broccoli. Do you absolutely hate broccoli? Are you more of a cauliflower queen now?
Not the cauliflower. No, I mean I still like broccoli. I don't eat it anymore.
And I'm so happy that you photographed all your looks, because Dahlia, I have to say, that fucking ice cream look would have hands down been the best look for that challenge. And I mean, and you're planning to do. First of all, how did you conceptualize the look? Did you go to the designer? Was it a collaborative thing? How did that look come about? Because it is stunning.
Yeah, it was always one of my favorite looks. So that was the one look that I was like, fuck, I didn't get to show on the runway because it was my favorite look going in there, and it took up literally one big ass suitcase.
Oh, well, it was so campy and it looked so well done.
So I was like, bitch, I'm gonna be a motherfucking ice cream. So I met my designer Ray Ortiz in LA, and I just told him the idea I wanted, and I said I wanted it very campy, but I also wanted very like, you know, still fashion. Like I wanted you can see it on the runway. So he was like, I got you, girl. And then he sent me back like maybe like a week later a whole sketch of it, and I said, bitch, this is sickening. And then we went
girl. Love. And also, I mean, because I have to say, like, I feel like a lot of your fashion thing, So my opinion is that even though season 3 was so long ago, you look
Yeah.
back at Raja's runways and they're still fierce, they're still fashion, they're still iconic. Whereas some people in the moment, you like work, you look back and you're like,
Right.
what was I thinking? And I feel like you had that same thing, like your fall, the black feather fantasy with like the spit curls you had everywhere. To me, I can look at that 10 years down and I'll be like, this was still a fierce look. The ice cream look, still a fierce look. Your cape one, still a fierce look. And you know, and I had heard that you thought that I was being shady when the cast first came out, but like we didn't really like work together in New York a lot. I saw you maybe once or twice. I wasn't throwing shade. I was just like, I don't really know Dahlia super well. Okay, all right.
I didn't think you was being shady, girl.
yeah. I live. What do you think? I've been asking the girls this. What do you think your stamp on drag is going to be now that you've done Drag Race? Like, what do you going forward? What do you see your thing is? Who's gonna be like, oh, I know Dahlia for that. Like, you think of Bianca, you feel like stand up, you think Bob, you think Trixie, like the other thing. What do you think your thing is gonna be for drag?
Well, I hope to be known just for like just some goofy crazy bitch, or just and just my fashion. Like because I like to take a whole different spin on fashion and like how I do it and how I represent it and like how I put it out to the world. So like hopefully like especially with the next looks that are gonna come out, like you see like bitch, you shouldn't have sent me home, girl. It's
And you know, I have to ask you. So everyone wants to know when you left the main stage, and I can attest to this. When you leave the main stage, girl, you're like you feel like shit. When I got eliminated, I was like, I feel like the shittiest person. Fuck all these motherfuckers. I hate RuPaul. Michelle can suck my big fucking toe. What was going through your mind?
So literally, when I got eliminated, the first thing I was going to do, which I was gonna walk to the back, I was gonna turn around and I was gonna scream, "Rigged!" Like I was gonna scream it from the top of my lungs. The next thing was, bitch, I'm just walking out because I'm already pissed. I'm mad, girl. I was so mad.
It was good. I mean, again, but it made an iconic moment. And I think that you're also someone like you're showing like it wasn't like a premeditated thing. It was like how you felt in the moment, and because of that, the fans feel that, and they're like, it's sincere, it's honest. She was fucking pissed, and she didn't want to say bye to these hoes. Fuck them.
Yeah, literally people were like, girl, that's so disrespectful to RuPaul. I'm like, honey, this was in the moment. This is how I felt. It's not disrespectful to RuPaul. It's how I felt in the moment and the fact that I was being eliminated when I know I shouldn't have been eliminated. So it was just how I felt in the moment. Yes, of course, I felt bad after and I was like, bitch, I maybe shouldn't have done that. Like, me walking in the back and me talking to people and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And plus I felt bad for my girls because I was like, I wanted to say goodbye to them, like, you know, kind of like in a cuter way, but bitch, I was mad, so I did what I did.
Absolutely, but and I stand, girl. You don't listen. You do not explain yourself to people. Only 160 something of us know what it feels like to be eliminated, and we're entitled to those feelings and those emotions in that moment. Okay,
literally.
Yeah. Now, also, when are we gonna get a tutorial? Oh, first of all, I want to see you put your twin brother in drag, and I want to get you know what are those twins? Because both of y'all are super hot. The Claremont twins. Do you know the Claremont twins? Like, I need a Dahlia and her brother Claremont twins moment.
Well, I'm like, it's been in the works. Like, he's been practicing his makeup. Like, he's been like trying. Cause I'm like, girl, when you learn your face, then I'll teach you like more about drag. But it's like literally impossible because he lives in Arizona with the rest of my family. So I'm like, bitch, learn your face over there. Like, learn your face. Once you learn your face, then I will put you in drag. But also, like, quarantine happened, so it's literally impossible for me to go over there and like, you know, have this big photo shoot with him because it's like, bitch, I can't go anywhere.
True. Well, listen, as soon as quarantine is done, we want some because I mean, we all know it. Dahlia Sin, you ooze sex appeal, and I'm sure your brother will as well. So we want to see the a little viral Claremont twins.
Bro, it's gonna happen, baby.
I live. Well, listen, Dahlia, listen. Thank you for chatting with me today. I fucking love you, girl. I know again, it sucks to go home first, but you've done a great job on the season. You're showing us these fucking fierce ass looks. Keep on stunning us. And after quarantine, we can have a proper kiki.
Girl, literally. But if we do have a proper kiki, I want that wig.
Well, you know, I don't have too many nice wigs. I was like, I'm talking to Dahlia. Let me throw on something nice, honey.
It's so time, bitch. I want it.
Thank you, my dear. Enjoy the rest of Corona, and hopefully I will see you on the other side.
Yes, thank you, babes.
Okay, my dear.
Bye.
Have a good day. Mwah.
I love you.
Love you, babe. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Exchange Rate today. Until next time, stay home, wash your hands, and remember to always keep your currency in check.